welcome back to Happy Hour and day 7 of our Rokr Dream Gift Factory build. Beautiful it is looking, look at all that movement going on, it's pretty cool. And if you haven't seen any of the others, which I would suggest you go back and look, but it does have music. Well, where am I going? There we go. And it's a touch sensor, as you can hear. Now, that said, we're not going to need that. Alright, we are getting straight on with... Turn off, mate. Off you go. We are getting straight on with our build. So, I'm going to leave that just to one side because we may need it back today. Can't guarantee. So, let's see. We are continuing with our little tree. So, but for this piece, we have to make the tree. So let's see, we have this one here with here, just joining those together. Very loose fit, very loose fit. I mean, obviously it's going to go on the bottom there, that's going to secure it up. And then we have this piece which is going to go let's check the direction here. Okay, got the direction. I think it goes in here. I guess this will tighten it up. Why didn't they make that other piece just longer? That's my question on this. Okay, so something like so. And it is incredibly loose. Then to one side for a second, and we have some more delicate pieces. I'm glad I sanded that down so well. Like, even though I bought more sanding sticks, I really need to buy some like this again because these have worked out to be quite well for me. Right, in the middle is going to be a little what does this say? Side without snow. So that way. Nope, that's there for that. Hold on there. This is confusing me. Let's try this again. Okay, so you got snow on here. Side without snow. So, no snow, no snow, okay, and then no snow, might be a little confusing, like so then, okay. Okay, and then that matches down here actually, so that works. Alright, back to this piece. So, I have to say it's a bit confusing. So it's got pattern, I think it goes this way, with the pattern facing outwards, I think. And that goes in here. Gently. This looks a lot more of an angle than mine does. And this piece, which is the stocking, goes hanging from the end. I think it's a little bit tricky to tell. So even though this tree is incredibly loose, the way it's sitting, we are continuing to put bits on it. Maybe that strengthens it up. Let me get Madam covered up. Okay, so we have this piece that's going to go in our tree, and there are notches for it. So this one goes second from the bottom with the blank side towards, which now means this is the stars. sort of decorations, slight decorations. And this one goes in like so, on the second notch up. I know you can hear my doubts on this. It's like, I don't know. Can't say I'm 100%. This might take a little bit of working out what they're talking about. Okay, I'm going to take this stocking off because I think it's going to get knocked. Okay, that one goes in there. That one I'm assuming goes there to here. I don't know if there's an easier way to do this either. In my little head, I haven't worked it out. Okay, and then kind of a bit clumsy to hold, really. Put that back on. Then we have F1. This one, which is going to go down here. Again, pattern side up. It's really hard to tell. If I don't work it out soon, I'll go offline, work it out, and then come back to your, I think that's how that goes. And this goes on this one, and I guess clips in here. Doesn't look right, does it? Kind of feels so loose. 139, there's that one, goes up here. It is rather loose fitting. I don't get it. I'm sure I must be doing something wrong. Doesn't feel right. And then 45 goes on the top. The whole thing doesn't feel right, really. Push it in as far as I can. It's rather unstable to touch, so it's kind of a bit weird, but I think that's correct. And then we turn it over and we put the other pieces in. So the largest one, this one has decor on, so I'm going to get the ones without any decor, I think, which I think is only one, which is 6, which goes the second one up. Like so. Oh, I see. Okay, so they're sharing a slot, one from each end is sharing a slot, and then the others all have some sort of decor on. So they share the same slot, which then tightens it up, I guess. Okay, so the big one has the cracker on top, facing outwards. Thinking that's what we got. And it goes on the bottom. It's not as easy as I thought it would be. How can it be too difficult, really? But there we are. Trying to read maybe it goes in the start instead. I don't think so. Right, give me a second. Okay, I took it back to scratch and I got these bottom ones in. So now I can put the decor on, which is only just going to fit. And it is up top, yes. If I can. So literally starting from the beginning on this whole thing. Which, yes, is easier probably to put in before you put on the tree. However, a bit less easier than I thought it would be. Okay, leave that with me then too. Okay, it is a bit of a nightmare, to be honest with you, because it just doesn't go in well. And I've turned it around several times in order to see if I've done it wrong. It just doesn't fit in particularly well, so I think it's going to end up having to be glued, but I think that's the way it's meant to go, other than the fact that the cracker's not on there. It's just like this side's just not quite big enough for it. And I keep thinking, well, maybe I've missed something and done it wrong. I think it is right. It's just a horrible fit. So let's take that off. Let's play on this side instead, the opposite side to where they start. So I think this is right, other than this not being in. Let's pop that in, which is probably a bit easier said than done too. And I think that goes over that branch, like so. And that's why this tab is so long. I think I'm going to have to put that in afterwards. So I'm going to start on this side instead, I think. So F6 is next, which is up here. And like I said, it's definitely not going in how I expected it to. I mean, it just doesn't feel a tight fit. Then number 41, which I'm going to have to take all these out again to put all the little bits in. 41. And it says to start at the top anyway, which is 45, 44. This one, so it says to work downwards, so I started the opposite way. It's definitely not easy, and I've turned this tree around about 8 times. Let's put that in, and then put the top one in. I don't like it. Guess we'll start at the top and work our way down. Okay, that's situated. that one's in. Okay, and the top one on one side, which will be this side, has a valve. Pop that in. Goes in like so. Okay. Yeah, it's a bit of a puzzle, to be honest. I don't like how the bottom part fits for sure. Okay, then let's try this one, which is 41, which will be this one. And this one has a piece on that end also, so that's fine, we do that afterwards. Not too bad if they're on the end. And on the opposite side of that is going to be 39, which is this one. It did take me many attempts to try and make sure everything was around the right way. Okay, and that one has on it this cracker. What's here? Okay. Building as we go here, building as we go. Then that one's in, which is F6, then that means this one is next, which goes in here, and that has the two things on it, which we did right at the beginning, the very first thing we did. Just doesn't feel right. Okay, that one's in. Okay, that one's in, like so. So it's just the bottom one I'm really having trouble with. So on the picture side it should have a cracker in, which is very difficult to put in after the event, by the way. So try and put that in, and that goes on this side. And this is kind of a bit where it goes all wrong. It's this bottom piece. And take the cracker out again. I have to end up gluing that in because I put it in too many times. Like so. Which means that there's nowhere to put that cracker if you do it that way. At all. And this one goes around here. Like I said, okay, fitted better than it did, so definitely working downwards up. And still, as you can see, it keeps falling out. Put a bit of glue in there, which I'm sure is not on the model, and it's on me for trying it 50 million times. It just doesn't quite seem to fit this bottom one. And then where the heck's the cracker going to go? Push it to one side maybe. Maybe it goes over the branch. Piece is falling out again. Doesn't feel right. And it doesn't go underneath. If it was going underneath, that would be easier. And it looks like it's altered totally to one side of the branch here when you look at the picture. Oh, okay, right, maybe. Okay. Right, something clicked, like it clicked in place. Right, let's try you again. Let me get some glue on it. I think that's how it's going to be. So let me get some glue on there, on that bottom one. I think that is how it is. This one's moved out the way. I'm going to end up having to glue a few of them, just because they've been in too many times and they lose their tightness really. Okay, leave that with me, let me get it glued in. Okay, so I'm really struggling with this piece, so I've taken it all apart. What I'm going to do is the opposite of what they suggest. So I'm going to get my tree in the base, because it's going to need to go in here, and then I can get it lined up, make sure all my pieces are in the right places, which they're not currently, and then we can literally take it from there. So let's see what I can do on this. So we know this one's going to go flat somewhere. The likelihood is that this one needs to cross it like this. And I'm not looking at the colours that they suggest or anything at this point. And then we know that this one goes down. So this one's in here. And then I'm going to put the stuff on, because I just can't get the direction right for me. I'd love to say I could. I just don't seem to be able to. So I'm going to put this bottom piece in first. In here. Then I can see where the holes are, hopefully, for this piece. Just making sure that the stars are on the outside. So I think this is where it's going to go in. And then I would decorate this pesky tree. It does feel a bit like I've been beaten by a tree. No breakages, but I just couldn't get all the ornaments in the right place either. So it's like, well, obviously something is wrong. So I'm going to just ease these into the base. And I hope that I've got it right now. So give me a moment to do that, because it's going to be a struggle. Okay, so I've really struggled with this tree. So none of the pieces are touching. You know, I was trying to do too flat. No, that's not how it goes. I had to put this top part in, I put in last. I put the bottom two in first, and then added this one in and squeezed it down, and it fit perfectly. Which could be why none of this was working right either. So now I'm going to redo these pieces the way I should be, but what a absolute nightmare in reality. Nightmare. Okay, so my tabs are not great on this anymore either, so we want the cracker to be on this side. So this is how it goes. So it goes between the two branches. So basically everything I was doing was wrong. Oh, what can I say? It happens to the best of us, right? Didn't understand the instructions well enough, obviously. And then these squeeze in here. I probably still have to put glue on this bottom one, just because it's been... maybe not actually. Then we have the one with the horseshoe, whatever that is, this one. And get the horseshoe on. Going to go on the opposite side, on the back of it. And that's going to go around here. Like I say, I struggled no end. I'm sure it should not have been this difficult. And then everything fits perfectly. Just make sure your tree is not touching. I mean, I gathered by the kind of by the instructions, but also it's going to need glue. Not just by the instructions, but by the way it looked on the picture, that it was not like six-sided. It kind of looked a bit double or four-sided. So I think by putting it into the bottom first, enabled me to see what the heck it was trying to do. Maybe it's me. I mean, that's totally feasible. It was me having that issue with it. Probably is. But if anyone else struggles on it, that'd be why. Put it in your base first. You're going to have to anyway. The very next step for this is putting it on the base anyway. So if you're worried about it's not making sense to you how it's going together, which it didn't with me, then put it in the base and it makes it a lot clearer. It took me about probably 8 to 10 attempts just to get it in that base, by the way. It was not easy. Didn't help that I was trying to do it all wrong, but still. Okay, then on this side we want this one up the other way now. Just like so. Who could have taken it that I would struggle so much with Christmas trees, as I do in real life? Maybe that's what it is. It's like, well, she struggles with Christmas tree in real life, so we're going to make it difficult in a model. Yuck. Don't play any games anymore, really. Used to play a lot. Don't think my mind can always keep up on games anymore. Just a little bit of a tight squeeze, this one. There we go. So just got to line it up a bit better than what I was trying to do. And then it's plain on the back. Like so. Well, would have helped if I hadn't tried to do it that it was flat against each other, I guess. User error and all that sort of thing. Okay, so half an hour spent. Longer for me, but a fair chunk of the video on just putting a tree together. And this was what, step 14? I want to say. Come on, out you come again. Let's line you up a bit better. But doesn't, so if you did it their way, you would have put the tree together and then you put it on that base. But that does look pretty cool, except for that bottom one, which is so far off. Okay, let's get some glue on you and hold it. Right, so while it was drying, I just went over some of the edges very quickly with some metallic-y paint, some metallic green and some metallic red. But it would have been much easier, of course, to have done it before it was off of the model, but that isn't where we were. So then we are going to take this piece, and it's symmetrical, so it's not going to matter which way it goes. Although, you know, when I've started on this whole thing, let's make sure it's the right one. I had one of these and it looked green on the lid, like this one, but when you put it on, it's actually blue. So I think the lid was the wrong colour. Of course, I started with that one, and that didn't work so well. So I'm just going to pop this on just for the tree. I think the rest of the model doesn't overly need it, but I think the tree gave me so much grief in comparison to most of this model. And I'm sure it's me. I'm sure it's just that I wasn't understanding the directions too well. I do sometimes get my lefts and rights a bit confused, so that's what I'm going to go with. It was me, it wasn't them. They have done perfect. Okay, I'll just pop that on top. And then we are going to make this. So I did mark it in case it needed to be marked, but I actually don't think it did. So just make sure that they are together and slot them together like so, she says. Nice and easy. Okay, and we'll put it over the tree so that there is a difference in space, guys, so you can tell me which way is which. You can see that there's a difference between the gap here and the gap here. One's a lot bigger than the other. Is it telling me which one's which? I am not seeing that. Oh, we do have tabs at the bottom here, maybe that will do it. I think that's it. So this goes bottom. Alright, so this goes over our tree, and I see, so where it goes around here, and then you've got some slots at the bottom for it to all go into, like so, just fits on top. Then, okay, just says make sure it's all in, which it is, and then we are going to put E12, which is, I don't know which one's which. Ooh, what's E12, the decorative one? No, it's this one. So this one goes in the bottom here on these tabs. She says the closer tabs to the model. So I'm starting at this side. It is an accordion piece, so again, go careful. Goes in there quite reasonably easily, so okay, make sure that's all the way down, and then on top of that I'm going to put this one as well. So this one starts here, this side, front of it. Again, another accordion piece. It kind of shows it made that you put this as a circle and then put it over it, which doesn't make any sense to me. That's what the instructions show, but it doesn't actually join as a circle, so there's no real reason to do that. So I'm not 100% sure why they show it that way, but they do. And then this one, just make sure that that's all the way down. Looks kind of cool, doesn't it? Very exciting, all very exciting. Turn the page, then new pot. We are dealing with the top now, so which one it is first? I think this one, the brown, which will go in this way. Nope, wrong. Brown side showing upwards, and over these tabs. Hold on. Juliet took her collar off. She's from Spade, and she took her collar off and was chewing it. And it was like, huh, I wonder what the noise was. And it's like, okay, this isn't good. Okay. That's not overly working. I didn't write on them which piece was which, but I'm pretty sure this is B3. No, it says B3 on it anyway, so this one's definitely first. Oh, I see, there's not actually one there. I'm thinking it goes through here, like so, and then followed by this one with the red side showing upwards. This looks right, but then this doesn't. Just rest on top, surely not. Looks like it does. Okay. It does look like it rests on top, but you have to make sure that those tabs, this one and this one, are up, and there is a little notch there, so I'm guessing that tends to go through here. Okay. Okay, so I think that's how that clips in. Okay, looks about right. It says make sure of direction. Yeah, okay, that's about right. Even though that moves, so it doesn't make much difference really. And now we are going to put it onto our model. So, first of all, these go on, what is it called? How on earth? I got caught on my monitor. Hey. Okay, so need to make sure the feet go through the slots here, and that these join here. So first things first, put it in the bottom. She didn't like that. I took it out of her mouth and chewing. Okay, push and then push inwards, and make sure that your cogs marry up, which mine have. Can't get that further in. My light caught there. Hold on. Let's get that out of the way. Okay. I don't know where this light's going to go actually. At the moment it's just at the top. Okay, that's right. And then so it just said like that to test. Done. Okay, make sure it is locked in, which it does seem to be. And then last part of 14, and it might be that we just stop it on this because I think 15, if I remember rightly, is quite a long one. So we are going to put in B4 at the top here, which goes into, there's a tab just underneath, I think. Yeah, okay. So B4, which is this one. Quite lined up. Feels like it is. I can see where you went to be going in, mate. What do you think about going in for me? Okay, let's try and get it through both of these, which it's not being, doesn't want to play quite so much. Juliet, did you not like that I took that away from you? Just make sure it catches that bit underneath. It's because she's got a collar on, so she can't lick her operation. And then this one goes in here. Has a lot of decor on. Don't know if you're going to see it. And it goes in between. Mine doesn't. Mine's going to go in between. Just here in this hole anyway. Goes this way, which would make more sense. I guess it's just to hold it down then, because this doesn't move, just the tree inside. How cool. Shall we give it a go afterwards? Just holds it in place. Well, And that is the end of 14. So we're on about 40 minutes. 15, let's see how long it is. Still going pages, but we start in different languages. So let's see how much of it is in English. 1 sec. Okay, I do think 15's going to take some time because we are going to be dealing with these lights and a whole top section up here. So let's give this a test and hope that it's not going to interfere with anything. Go around, my friend. Oh, get rid of that. Need that. Okay, and hopefully the tree will move. That's the idea. Can't see where I'm pressing. And we have a working tree. Goes fast, doesn't it? Doesn't that go fast? That's looking so very cool. How awesome is that? Alrighty, so we have a very turny Christmas tree right now. So I think that looks delightful. And then, right, so tomorrow we are carrying on, or day 8. Is that right? Yeah, this is 7, 8. So we're carrying on with the top here and sorting out the lights. So this string will be sorted tomorrow as well. Then we are going to be working on the chute going up here. So that'll be kind of cool out. Also putting a star on the tree, of course. And probably going to get my pens out for that, I reckon. Then it's got another test going to go on, and we're doing more to other lights and things like that. And 15 is quite a long step. And then we'll be on 16. If we get as far as 16, what section are we working on? We're working on this section down here. So 15 will finish up this top section, finish up the tree and everything. So that is where we are. So do leave any comments, it's very much appreciated. I'll always get back to you with any questions or just comments generally. Let's see if I can make this work. I doubt it. You know, I have failed at this almost every time. There we go, not too bad. Okay, anyway, yes, so I will always get back to you. Do like and subscribe if you haven't already. It doesn't mean the world to me. Most of all, take care of you. I will see you for day 8 very soon. I mean, I am so enjoying this build. I mean, the tree took a lot longer than I anticipated. It was a bit of a nightmare. I didn't really understand the instructions. I mean, I'm sure most people would. But I did struggle with them. I did find it a lot easier to put it on that base first and then build upwards. And I wish I'd done that right at the start, and we probably would have been done within a few minutes rather than the 20 odd it took or half an hour it took. So, but it does look awesome, doesn't it? 15, we will finish this off on day 8, step 15. We will finish this part off and sort this out as well. So it's going to look awesome. All right, take care everyone. Bye bye now.